We have Mark, and we have Matthew, Niall, Sean, Mallory, and Ian. And I would just like to first start by saying thank you to the audience for being here on such short notice. When you ask yourself, what is the most expensive piece of artwork in the world? Well, it was painted by Leonardo da Vinci, but could you guess which one? There are a lot of very famous and highly expensive paintings that could possibly run someone very far north of $100 million. If you guessed the Mona Lisa, you would unfortunately be wrong. Most recently purchased by Saudi Arabian Prince, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, as recently as 2021 for a recorded $450 million, the Salvador Mundi. However, this painting is highly controversial due to a plethora of reasons, which I will get to in a minute. The Salvador Mundi, otherwise known as the male Mona Lisa. So what makes the male Mona Lisa the male Mona Lisa? Some of the reasons art experts across the world think that the Salvador Mundi was painted by Da Vinci is that it shares very similar brushstrokes to the Mona Lisa and is also believed to be painted for the King Louis XII of France during the Italian Renaissance. According to LeonardoDaVinci.net, the painting also uses the laws of physics. The painter also uses the laws of physics in all of his artwork. And there are very few reasons for that experts for a long time did not believe the painting was painted by Da Vinci himself. For example, many believe that the Mundi was painted by world-renowned Leonardo da Vinci, who is not only known for being an artist, but as a physicist and an astronomer as well. Many of Da Vinci's paintings, philosophies, and even theses in the science world today are still very prevalent in the modern world we live in. Paintings like the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and even his studies on how light reflects and how shadows work, just so that he could have more accurate paintings. However, like most relics of the past, the Salvador Mundi was discovered in not great shape and was distorted heavily due to restoration work. According to ItalianRenaissanceArt.com, a version of the painting with a bright red color was put on display in place of the real paintings next to the Mona Lisa before it was taken down. The male Mona Lisa, as some call it, is considered to be one of the most highly expensive paintings in the world, bought for $450 million, as previously mentioned. However, not the highest value painting in the world, because according to inflation statistics from Kunas.com, the Mona Lisa itself would be valued at almost double the price of the Salvador Mundi. However, both would put your bank account on life support. Some experts believed for a long time that the painting was not painted by Da Vinci. One of the reasons is that the painting is a straight-on piece. When you look at a gallery of Da Vinci's most famous portraits, you will notice that they are all side pieces and are painted at an angle. This brings us to our second theory, that the painting was a collaboration piece which followers of Da Vinci believed to be done by a member or members of the group the Leonardici, who followed Da Vinci very closely during the Italian Renaissance. The third and final point to the argument of denouncers of the Mundi is that it did not use physics. This happened because for a very long time, artists around the world believed that the orb in Jesus' hand was solid. If that were the case, then the image behind the orb would be highly distorted. This theory, however, was recently proven wrong by professors at the University of California, Irvine, where they concluded that the orb was not solid, but in fact hollow, which would mean that the painting was accurate to physics. Leonardo da Vinci, as previously mentioned, was not only known for his artwork, but his scientific work as well. During his time period, he was considered an expert in the anatomy field, and his drawing, The Virtual Man, is still used in science today. According to SalvadorMundi.com, the painting was painted for King Louis XII of France, who ruled France for 17 years during the Italian Renaissance, from 1498 to 1515. Interestingly enough, the first thing that came up when looking for information on King Louis XII was that he had an ugly wife. He was the son of the Duke of Orleans and is known for his tax cuts and civil peace making as a ruler. He claimed the throne after his father's death. Now, a few may be wondering where the painting is today. Although at first it was sold to an anonymous buyer, according to a report in 2019, It was bought by Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and is currently being held on a yacht, which actually holds less value than the painting itself. Fun fact, the painting was once sold for $125. It was first discovered badly damaged and could hardly be recognized. After it was bought for $125, according to statistic inflation, the Salvador mundi disappeared for over 200 years and was bought for $125 million after a Swiss art collector noticed similarities in the piece from other pieces from Da Vinci. It was then later sold for $450 million. The Salvador mundi is the most expensive and the most controversial painting of all time. However, no matter how controversial, the numbers don't lie.